Hi everyone, I'm Ula Burgieł and this video is about interior design sketching. I will show you how to transform your interior design career with hand drawing. It doesn't matter if you are a beginner or a pro. If you're interested in interior design sketching, keep watching this video. I'm Ula Burgieł and I'm a London-based interior designer working on luxury projects worldwide. Remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button to get notified about new videos like this. So let's start. Is interior design sketching important? Definitely yes. It shows that you are a better interior designer, more creative, and also worth paying for. Clients look at you with more respect and they see an artist in you. I see it all the time with my students. They're actually amazed how interior design sketching changes the way people look at their work. It's a game changer when it comes to presenting to clients. In today's digital world, interior design sketching is a very rare and unique skill. And this can be the skill that will make you different from your competitors and make you win this dream project. Interior design sketching is a language for interior designers. This is how we communicate our ideas to the world. But ultimately, interior design drawing will help you formulate your ideas into something tangible. It's a way of shaping the concepts into the correct forms and proportions. It's the acid test. It shows if your ideas actually make sense in the three-dimensional world. And now we are going to talk about the traps of learning interior design sketching. I talked to a lot of designers and a lot of them say they previously learned some form of sketching but could never really use it properly. Obviously, there is a lot of YouTube tutorials about sketching, but believe me, sometimes I'm looking at these tutorials and they either miss crucial points, they're too complicated for a beginner, and they're just not designed for interior designers. The reality is that you can spend years practicing the wrong techniques and never get any proper results. It's the typical expectations versus the reality. And it's very disheartening because I know how much effort and time you put into it. Because of working with my students, I know how important it is to have someone to point you in the right direction. I had that person before, and thanks to this, I could use interior design sketching to progress in my career so much. So always make sure you have the right person to learn from and to learn the sketching, not guessing the dimensions, but actually learn sketching to scale. That is very important. So if you're interested, go to my website for details. There are two main types of interior design sketching. The first one is the front view of one wall. It's called one-point perspective or central perspective because all the lines in the drawing point to one central point. It's probably the easiest one to learn and it's very, very useful because you can very quickly transform a 2D elevation, 2D drawing into a 3D view of a room that the client will understand much more easily. When the clients see a quick sketch like this, they usually say, "Oh my God, thank you very much. I can see it now because I wasn't able to imagine it myself. And now I just see exactly what you mean." So it can explain your design very, very well. It's a huge jump from a 2D kind of technical drawing to something that your client can actually understand. The second type of interior design sketching is the view of a corner of a room, which is called the two-point perspective. All the lines in the drawing point to two different points, and it's just the easiest way to draw a corner of a room. So each time you just want to show just one corner, two walls, the two-point perspective is best. It tends to look more dynamic than the one-point perspective. There's also a third type, which is called the three-point perspective, but it's not used that much in interior design. It's mostly used in architecture. To explain it best, imagine that you're standing on the pavement next to a skyscraper and look up at the top of the building. This is where the third point appears, and all the lines that are normally vertical, they point into the third point at the top. So in interior design, you basically use just two types of perspective, one-point perspective and two-point perspective. This is a very simple rule. Obviously, there is much more to it. There's many more rules to learn to do a drawing properly. So, for example, to grasp the right proportions, the right depths, and the heights and everything, because you can do all these drawings to scale the same way as you're doing your normal technical drawings. Now we are going to talk about the interior design sketching as a part of the design process. Hand-drawn concepts are a very important part of the interior design process. It starts after you're done with your research about the project, the basic space planning, and finding the main idea for the space. I usually sketch almost every space in the house. It's a good idea to start with wider angles showing the entire space, then draw the main proportions of all the bigger features and slowly kind of unveil the story of the room. After this, it's the time for details. I usually try to resolve the details along the way, but always towards the end of sketching the whole room. So hand drawing the interior spaces feels a bit like resolving the space bit by bit, like a puzzle. Sketches of details tend to be more refined and precise. Designing a detail usually means drawing it several times. It's experimenting with different proportions, different sizes, different options to finally arrive at this perfect considered detail at the end. That's why interior design sketching can also be called the interior design thinking, because it's not just illustrating the space, it's actually the process of designing it. Sometimes the design process can be less structured. Sometimes I just like to sketch little drawings on a side of a newspaper or just in my notebook if I have it with me somewhere in the cafe or when I'm traveling. That's a very good way of just catching the ideas that go through your head when you're not in your office, you're somewhere else, and then when you see the inspiration, especially in the architecture when you're traveling or going to an art exhibition, it's a great way to do a little sketch. It's very creative, it's very arty, and it will help you so much with designing the spaces. The collectible value of hand-drawn interior design sketches. High-quality drawings have also a high collectible value, especially if they're drawn by a well-known interior designer. And moreover, they can be quite rare, which adds even more to their value. An interior design sketch is a great addition to an art collection. So if you want to win better jobs, better projects, be able to charge more than your competitors, you have to learn interior design sketching. If you want to learn in the most efficient way from someone who has actually done it, check out my interior design sketching masterclass and other professional courses. I'll show you how to learn sketching fast and in the correct way. No guesswork, easy to follow step-by-step online instructions on your schedule. But don't take my word for it, just look at what my students have said. To sum up, interior design sketching is the only way to create truly original and creative designs. The two methods of drawing the perspective is one-point perspective and two-point perspective. The basic rules of interior design sketching are pretty simple, but it can take a long time to master it. High-quality sketches can also have collectible value, especially when they're done by a top interior designer. Interior design sketching is a promise of truly original and exceptional design. It's a very rare skill that sets great interior designers apart. You can be one of them. Remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button for more videos like this. And remember to check out all my courses. See you next time.